Hi. Well, I just received my Gotway MSuper V3 yesterday. Really excited. Been having some fun with it. I thought I'd do a little review, kind of a comparison review between this and my Gotway ACM. And I thought for kicks I'd throw in the Kingsong 14C. Now for context, I've only been riding these just shy of 2 months. But at this point, I can say I'm a confident rider. I can go pretty much anywhere I want. I just can't do any tricks. And at this point, I don't know if I'm going to pursue doing tricks. Maybe riding backwards. We'll see. Let's see. So yeah, I rode this for about 15 miles yesterday. A couple of different trips. Today, midway through this discussion, I'm going to take it out, go for a range test. It's fully charged up. This is the large capacity 820 watt hour version. So I'm going to take it out on a local riverbed ride, and we'll see what I get out of it. I'm hoping 25 or so miles. Now the ACM, this is what I learned on, and I have about 450 miles riding the ACM, so I think I know that really well. And then the Kingsong, I've had that for maybe a month, and I probably have about 75 miles on that. So I did write some notes with my observations so far. One thing, and this is primarily going to be again between the MSuper and my ACM. They both apparently have the same capacity motors, but interestingly, the MSuper is actually louder, which I know some people really don't like the whining sound that come from these the Gotway, some of the Gotway wheels, but it is noticeable that the MSuper it's louder. It doesn't really bother me, and again, when you're riding at speed, the wind and road noise tends to obscure it, but you might find that of interest. Let's see. The carrying handle on this, I mean right here, it's actually harder. It's not as comfortable to lift this wheel as the ACM. This is a kind of a hard plastic, and the edges here they're just kind of sharper, so they dig into your hand more. Now this is a beast to lift. It certainly weighs more than my ACM. I haven't weighed them yet, but it's heavier than an ACM, and the ACM is a heavy wheel. ACM is made from this kind of feels more like a rubberized plastic. It's not soft, but it has a different texture. This comes across as a really hard plastic, and so the ACM is, and it's more rounded. These edges in the ACM are more rounded, so it's certainly more comfortable to pick up. But either one of these machines, you would hope you'd never have to carry it very far. So I hope I never get a flat where I have to carry this for a couple miles. The light on this is identical to the ACM, same part. You can tell they use similar parts on some aspects to this. The power switch. The light is not very practical. I found the Kingsong light, you can actually ride with it at night and use that for seeing what's ahead of you. The ACM and the MSuper, the light's more for letting other people know that you're around. I'm going to see if you can hear the difference in the noise on the motor. Here's the MSuper. It's not dramatic, but there's a slight difference. I want to show you the rear lights for you've probably seen how they behave. You know, when you're turning, lights flash here, or when you're braking. But this is just standing still, and it took me a while to realize that this is your battery indication. So there's 5 lit up right now, and they just pulse. And at the end of the run, I'll show you what it looks like. But last night, for instance, it was down to I think 30% power or so, and I think it was only the center light was pulsing. So it's functional, but certainly not as user-friendly as what's on the ACM, which you can easily just look at. I don't know, it's more like a bar graph. And then of course the King Song has a even better battery level indicator, in my opinion. The pedals and the MSuper are amazing, really amazing. They're the best pedals I've ever felt, and I've ridden a few other wheels than what I have too. They have this super grippy material, and it feels really tough. And they have these rubber strips, and like on the ACM, I only have the rubber strips. I'm certainly like the ACM pedals, but I don't know, with these, when you put your feet on it, it just feels like your feet stick to the pedals. And then, I don't know what it is, they're definitely bigger than the ACM. They're not dramatically bigger, but I tell you, when you just put your feet on these and ride, and again, I rode for about 15 miles yesterday. Maybe the longest was 9 miles, and my feet were never uncomfortable. It just feels, they just feel really nice. I really love these. Now the Gotway uses magnets to hold these up, and on the ACM the magnets are pretty weak. They'll flop down easy, but they definitely put either more or stronger magnets on the MSuper. They don't want to flop down as you're carrying it around. So big win on the pedals. Just real quickly, I wanted to show you the pedals on the ACM. So you can see they have the same, looks like the same type of rubber. It's different orientation. No grippy material here. And the magnet's just not as strong. So on the ACM, when you pick it up and carry it around, these will have a tendency to flop down on you. That is not happening on the MSuper. I want to show you the tire width. When I first took the MSuper out of the box, I was just struck with the massive size of the wheel, the appearance. You know, my other wheels, King Song and ACM, have 2-inch wheels, and these are 2.5, and it's only half an inch difference, but they just appear massively different. So they can see the difference, and yeah, so it just feels like the MSuper will be able to tackle anything with these wheels, and hopefully it'll be even less prone to getting flats. So when I filled the tire up, I filled it to 45 psi, which according to the tire is the maximum. But I think the placement, access to the valve on the tube is horrible. I don't know if this is only MSuper I have. Maybe it's the particular tube that was placed in here, but you can see that it's got your typical bent valve, but instead of you know, maybe coming out at an angle this way, it's coming more direct, more out towards you, but also into the shell. It's really hard to get to. Here's my here's what I'm using to fill it, and you can just barely get it in there to fill. Definitely not as convenient as the ACM. Well, the ACM you have to take off part of the panel, but they provide access screws to do that, and then it's nice access. And the King Song, it's real easy to get to. So hopefully I don't have to fill the tire very often. I just quickly want to point out that the pads for your legs use the same soft, super soft material. I really love this material. Actually, I think the ACM has slightly softer pads, but they're both really, really comfortable. The manuals that come with these Gotways are really laughable. I mean, they're horrible. Almost totally useless. But the ACM, look at the difference between these manuals. Now, the ACM's been around longer than the MSuper. You would think that the MSuper would have maybe slightly better manual, or at least the same level. Well, the ACM, you know, all 4 or so, well, 6 pages, I guess. Everything's in English. You know, broken English, but everything's in English. The specs and you know, there's some information here. The MSuper manual is in Chinese. There's there's one page of English, but it's all the you know, worthless safety information that, you know, here's the exploded diagram with, you know, numbers that indicate what's what, but everything's in Chinese except for one item, the USB port. So they have that partially in English, but everything else is in Chinese. You know, the specs, everything's in Chinese. It's horrible. Really weird how they can't. You'd think they could find, not particularly nowadays, native English speaker in China that could wouldn't cost them that much to produce a reasonable manual. So I'm going to try and insert in here a split screen of me standing on the MSuper and ACM, so that you can see the, you know, relative sizes of the wheels and how high you're standing above the ground, and hopefully that works out. So the last thing I wanted to talk about before I take off on my range test is the comfort level in mounting the wheel. I've only been doing this for, again, a couple months. My weakest point is still mounting it. Pretty good now, but certainly not as natural and smooth as a lot of guys out there. But when I first got on this, I noticed immediately that it felt much more comfortable to just launch and get going. I don't know if it's the pedals, the size of the wheel, the height of the unit that hits your calf a bit higher up here, so maybe it just feels more stable. So it doesn't want to really move much on you as you lift up on your other foot. Thanks.
riding back in the river trail, and I'm fighting a strong headwind, and I'm easily going about 17, 18 miles an hour. And my battery's about 40%. That's showing 40% under load. So again, I'll give you the final numbers when I get back, but so far I'm really happy. This thing's a blast. I just decided to take a little off-road trip down to the bottom of the river here. As you see, it's not much of a river right now. Typical Southern California rivers, at least for 11 months out of the year. I don't think this is going anywhere too friendly, so I think I'm going to head back to the path. for a little bit, just take a break. I'm at about, still depends, 35 to 40% battery, and I'm at about 22 miles. So far so good. Well, that was a nice ride. I don't know, I think I've been gone two and a half hours. I don't know. And I'm at Rusting, 38% battery. And distance of about 23 miles. That's according to Gotway, which I think they overestimate, so it's probably 21. I'll check my GPS. So I'm going to take a break. Go out for a little more just to get the battery closer to 10% maybe. And I wanted to show you what the lights look like back here now. I think hopefully you can see that. So this is about 30% thereabouts. Looks like two flashing LEDs. So, all right, now I'm refreshed. Got some more food in me. So I checked my GPS, and actually it looks like the wheel telemetry, said it was, I'd ridden about 23 miles. Actually matches the GPS. So that's good. It's not, that wasn't the same on the ACM. The ACM was a bit optimistic. So that's good to know. I've got about, it says that I've got about 40% battery. Probably not 40% under load, but yeah. I'm gonna go for some more riding. I want to see if I can at least get it down to 10%. Let's see what my mileage is. again, here's the LED at about 20% battery level when standing still like this. Okay, well, that was a lot of writing. So I wrote about 3 hours, thereabouts, and 31 miles. And that was pretty typical riding for me too, the style. So I'll ride between, of course you go slower, but there's a lot of 15 to 18 miles per hour, sometimes 20, 21. Problem is at those higher speeds, you get so much wind buffeting. It's quite not quite as pleasant to ride. But yeah, so 3 hours, 31 miles, and I ended it when I started getting the warning beeps, which I had not gotten at all before, even when I pushed it to, upwards of 20 miles an hour. So when it's wheels standing still, it's showing about 20%, but under load, it's 10% or less. I think that's when you start getting the beeping. I think it's 8%. So I'm stoked. 31 miles, and if I had to squeeze out, when I was a few miles from home, I'm pretty sure I could get going nice and slow. I could probably get 35 miles out of it, but a solid 30 miles, and a lot of the riding, if you saw some of them in my video, there was a lot of riding against the headwind that we get in the afternoon from the ocean up the riverbeds. So that obviously adds a lot of drain on the battery. So if you watched some of my riding video, you'll see I did a lot of riding on sidewalks, on paths, on dirt paths. Did some riding on grass, over roots. I really like this wheel. It's going to be a great compliment. It handles beautifully, it rides beautifully. This is certainly a road machine. I mean, if you don't want to do trail riding or just want to, go for distance, it's a beautiful machine. And I was on a good solid 3 hours on these pedals with very little break, and my feet do not hurt at incredible pedals. Can't say enough about them. Enough good things about them. Let's see. So, whether I would, it'd be really hard pressed for me to pick which wheel I would. Out of the 3 wheels I have King Song 14C, the ACM, and now the MSuper. If I only could pick one, it wouldn't be the King Song, because I like a little more stability. I don't know, I just think it's not the best all-around wheel, being 14-inch. It's a great wheel though. If I had to pick between this and the ACM, I just don't know. It might be a coin toss, because they both have the 820 kilowatt or 820 watt-hour batteries. And it looks like they both have about the same range. Good, solid, easy 30 miles. I don't know. Just be a coin toss. I think I'd be happy with either one. In summary, I'm thinking about how to describe the 3 wheels, and I think I want to make a comparison to cars, and this assumes you've driven the kind of cars I'm going to describe. I'd say the King Song 14C is kind of like a front-wheel drive sports car, a little twitchy, fast, make tight turns, that kind of wheel. The ACM is kind of like a rear-drive muscle car. It just has It sticks to the ground. It has a solid feel to it. It has lots of power. You really can take any hills with it, and you can just barrel through 20 miles an hour into a headwind, and it just keeps on going. And then MSuper would be an SUV, you know, a sport utility vehicle. So it's still sporty. You can still, it handles great. It's, you know, off-road more so than the other ones, and you know, just all around good ride. So that's my summary. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for stopping by. Hi, this is an epilogue. It's the next day, and I'm up here riding in Griffith Park. You might just see the Hollywood sign behind me. Came up here with Carlos and Edward, and we rode for about 22 miles. And they took off, and I came back up for another round, and I'm at about 32 miles right now. And the battery is at 39%. So I'm really impressed. You get a lot of good regenerative energy back when you ride mountain riding like this, where you get when you go up 1,000 feet and maybe down 1,000 feet. Still got a couple more miles to go to get back to my truck. I think I'll shoot maybe one more video just to let you know what my total mileage is. Okay, epilogue number 2. I made it back down the base of the mountain, and I'm at about 33 miles, and under load my battery is showing 30%. So this MSuper is a great machine. I'm really going to enjoy it. Thanks again for stopping by.